you setting candidates up for success, giving them information ahead of time, allowing them to prepare. I imagine in today's age, are you seeing some of that come back into the hiring process in terms of like the preparation was really, let me throw this into Chat GPT and come with scripted answers to the interview questions? What are you seeing?
Yeah, that's a great question and great point. And I think I saw a news segment where a teacher talked about how she's adapting in the classroom for the use of ChatGPT. And she's not banning it in her classroom, but it's her responsibility now to evolve her style and her curriculum to adapt to ChatGPT. So it's like, sure, write your essay with ChatGPT, but then we're going to come in to the classroom and we're going to work through some different problems together on the essay or whatever the case was. And I think the same goes for us. Like, we need to embrace AI. It's here to stay. It's going to evolve and change how we work. And honestly, I think of AI as a force multiplier. It should remove friction from the process. It shouldn't be removing people from it. And so with candidates, we ask application questions, and yes, almost every person is like Chat GPT. The responses are the exact same. So you know automatically. But one, it does make the candidates that are not using Chat GPT or are really good at using it so it doesn't sound so scripted stand out. And two, like, it still gives people like a really good indication of how they're using tools. And like at 1Password, we are embracing an AI and we want our teams to. So we want to ask people, how are you using AI in your workflows or to enhance and be more productive? But it does change the style in which we interview, right? And so with pre-scripted answers to interview questions that I'm being transparent in giving you, then I need to make sure my interviewers are comfortable probing, right? And the probing is where we can get better signal as opposed to just taking that surface answer to the question I provided that they plugged in and now have a script to. So that probing is where we're going to get the better signal or the most signal from.
Yeah. And it starts with like good questions, right? That initially draw out real world experiences that ChatGPT may not know about this exact scenario you ran into one time at work 5 years ago. So it starts with good questions that draw out those examples. And by giving them to candidates ahead of time, like there's no reason to use ChatGPT to make that stuff up. Like I can just have the time to think about that and make sure I put my best foot forward in the interview process. But how are you coaching the hiring managers to probe? Like what does that look like for you? How do you help them figure out what are the right follow-up questions to ask based on an initial response?
Yeah, for sure. I think one is interview training and talking through that a lot in training, using recordings and being like, okay, well, this is where you could have asked this probing question and probably gotten a little bit better signal. But I also think that it's having some structured interviews and having probing questions like integrated into that. And like they can change a little bit based on the context that the candidate's providing. But I think there is still a way to provide a framework to hiring teams and interviewers to then be able to like do those follow-ups. But I'm also no stranger to doing a follow-up interview of follow-ups, right? Like if we did not get the signal, I would rather have one more interview to get that signal and directly address those things head on than passing on a candidate just because we're scared to say like, we kind of messed up on our end. We like didn't do a great job or didn't get this signal. Like we need one more. Like if they seem good and like you think for the most part, if you can get this extra signal, like they'd be hired, like have that follow up. I'm sure that they're going to be willing to do it if that means that there's a potential that they get an offer.